At Oakwood High, the air was thick with tension whenever Kyle walked through the halls. He was known as the bully, the one who thrived on power and fear. With a scowl permanently etched on his face and a group of equally intimidating friends, he made life miserable for anyone who dared to cross his path. Jake, a quiet sophomore, had become one of Kyle's favorite targets. He was an average student, blended into the background, and kept to himself, but that only made him an easier mark. Kyle would often shove him into lockers, mock his clothes, and laugh when Jake stumbled over his words. Each encounter chipped away at Jake's confidence, leaving him feeling small and alone. One day, as Jake sat in the cafeteria, trying to enjoy a quiet lunch, he noticed Kyle across the room, boasting to his friends about his latest exploits. They laughed as Kyle recounted the moment he'd thrown a milkshake on a kid for simply looking at him the wrong way. Jake's stomach twisted in knots, knowing he was next in line for Kyle's cruelty. But something shifted that afternoon. The principal, fed up with Kyle's antics, announced a new initiative called Project Kindness, a program designed to combat bullying by promoting empathy and compassion among students. Each class was assigned a kindness buddy to mentor someone who needed support. When the assignments were handed out, Jake couldn't believe his ears. He was paired with none other than Kyle. Jake's heart raced. How could he be paired with the person who had tormented him for so long? But as the days went by, something unexpected happened. During their first meeting, Kyle came in with a smirk, fully prepared to mock Jake, but instead found himself confronted with a situation he didn't expect. "Why do you do it?" Jake asked, surprising even himself. "Why do you pick on people?" Kyle paused, taken aback. No one had ever dared to ask him that before. He shrugged, dismissively at first, but Jake's sincere gaze made him think twice. "It's just fun," he muttered, but his tone lacked conviction. "Does it make you feel better?" Jake pressed on, surprising himself with his boldness. "Do you really think it's fun to make people feel like they don't matter?" For a moment, there was silence. Kyle shifted uncomfortably, and Jake saw a flicker of vulnerability behind the bravado. He realized then that Kyle wasn't just a bully. He was someone who carried his own pain. Over the next few weeks, Jake's approach changed. Instead of fearing Kyle, he treated him with unexpected kindness. He shared stories about his own struggles and how he wished he could have been as strong as Kyle seemed to be. He began to see Kyle in a new light, not as a villain but as a person dealing with his own battles. To everyone's surprise, including his own, Kyle began to change. He started showing up to their meetings with a different attitude. They began to talk more, and slowly, Kyle started to let his guard down. Jake learned about Kyle's difficult home life, the pressure he felt to be tough, and the loneliness he experienced beneath the facade. As the months passed, Kyle transformed. He began to stand up for others instead of against them. When he saw someone being bullied in the hall, he intervened, surprising both his friends and the victim. Jake watched in awe, realizing that kindness had the power to reshape not just his life, but the life of someone he once feared. By the end of the school year, Kyle was no longer the feared bully of Oakwood High. He had become a leader in the Project Kindness initiative. He used his popularity to promote acceptance and friendship, sharing his journey and encouraging others to stand up against bullying. Jake had never expected to forge a friendship with his former tormentor. They had learned from one another, and through their unlikely bond, both found strength in vulnerability. As they walked through the halls together, laughing and joking, Jake realized that sometimes, the path to understanding can lead to unexpected friendships. And Kyle, once the school bully, had become an ally, proof that everyone, no matter their past, has the potential for change.